Hi, I'm Yaakov Katz, and welcome to another episode of the Jewish People's Podcast by JPPI and our continued look and analysis of the ongoing Israel-Iran war. And today I'm really privileged to be joined by someone I've known for a long time and long respected, uh, retired Admiral and Commander of the Israeli Navy, Eliezer Marom. Eliezer was the commander of the Israeli Navy from about 2006 until 2011, 2012. He led the Navy on a series of really remarkable operations at the time and rehabilitated the Navy to a large extent after the 2006 Second Lebanon War and really brought it to, I would say, to the point where it is largely today, a inseparable piece and part of the larger and wider IDF operations. But we're here not necessarily to talk about the Navy. We're here to talk about the Israeli operation against Iran. And I wanted to start with, Admiral, how do you see the success so far of what Israel has been able to achieve with the Iran nuclear program?
I think that the success is really very, very impressive and unbelievable, I would say. I don't think that those who planned this operation could imagine that those would be the results after about 4 or 5 days of this battle going on between us and Iran, but it's really a big success.
What is the success? It's the success because of what? What are you seeing that Israel has achieved? And I know there's the surface-to-air missile systems. We've opened up the skies over Iran, but it does seem, and we've taken out some of the top Iranian leadership. Well, what else are you seeing that defines this success?
You know, I was one of those that advocated that we have to attack Iran as soon as possible. And I mean, already several years ago, but most of the people told me, and those are some that are experts, that, well, if Israel would attack alone, it can make only maybe one wave of an attack, or maybe two, because the distance is really high, and we are about between 1,000 to 1,000, close to 2,000 kilometers from Iran. And this is really very, very difficult to go and attack, air attacks in this distance. But we could see that after 24 hours, Israel did achieve two big, very important goals. One is to destroy almost all the anti-air systems of Iran, and actually to open the road to Tehran. Opening the road to Tehran means that, you know, in Syria, we already destroyed long time ago, a few months ago, all the anti-air systems that some of them were Iranian systems. The Iranians also installed on the way to Tehran in Iraq some detection systems to detect our aircrafts coming to Tehran. All those were destroyed, including the systems in Iran itself and in Tehran itself. And therefore, we said that we have a road open to Tehran. And actually, the Israeli Air Force had a full superiority, air superiority, and they almost flew without threat until the targets that they had to bomb in Iran. So this is number one. That is a phenomenal success after about 24 hours. And the second one is, everybody remembers that Iran all the time threatened Israel. We are going to fire or launch towards you hundreds of ballistic missiles at the same time, so that your anti-air system will have a big problem to try and knock off most of our missiles. And this didn't work. It didn't work not because Iran did not want to fire hundreds of missiles. towards Israel. And I'm speaking about ballistic missiles, those that would arrive to Israel after they're launching in about 10, 11, 12 minutes. And we need to use systems like the Arrow 3, Arrow 2, and the American THAAD, and the systems from the Aegis class ships that are here on the west of the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean. And the number of launchers, and this is more important than the number of missiles that the Israeli Air Force succeeded to hit, are big numbers. But one more important part, and this is the decapitation of most of the highest echelon of the Revolutionary Guard and the Iranian official army. You know, they have two armies. One is the Revolutionary Guard, and one is the official army of or military forces of Iran. And most of them were decapitized. And at the same time, we also hit centers of command and control. So they had a problem to coordinate those firing, and they did not succeed. So I would say that there are two phenomenal successes that I was very much impressed of. And the first one is air superiority in a very short while, so our aircrafts can fly from here through Syria, Iraq, into Tehran, bomb in Iran, not only in Tehran, all over Iran, which is a huge country. And at the same time, also hit most of the missiles or the launchers, the ballistic missiles, and the Iranians could not fire until today. Baruch Hashem. More than 50 missiles at one salvo. This is what they can do. I want you to understand,
and most of them are intercepted by the Israeli defense systems also, which is a huge...
most of them are intercepted. Right. But you know, we have lots of experience with missiles and ballistic rockets and so on flying into Israel, and some of them intercepted, and some of them, of course, are not intercepted because the success is not 100% of the anti-missile system, the Iron Dome. But we have never seen such kind of robust and full with TNT missile. The warhead of those ballistic missiles, the Shihab, is more than 500 kilos on every missile, and the destruction is amazing. So if we knock off 99% and only 1% hits the target in Israel, the damage is severe. That's the reason why we lost some of our citizens, because they are not choosing the targets. Now, what is amazing about what they are doing is that there are many videos on the net showing Israeli aircraft attacking ballistic missile launchers in Tehran. In Tehran, not around Tehran. We destroyed many launchers on the western side of Iran, on the border between Iran and Iraq, because they wanted to fire as close distance to Israel. But when you see the aircrafts now destroying missile launchers, ballistic missile launchers in Tehran itself, you understand that the Iranians are firing from the center of Tehran using the citizens of Tehran, the poor citizens of Tehran, as a shield, human shield. And at the same time, those rockets are fired towards civilian targets in Israel. So they are criminals, they are terrorists, and we have to finish the job there in Iran, and there is some job still to be done.
So let's talk about that for a moment. I mean, you know, what you spoke about were definitely huge achievements. taking it, creating the air superiority, and really, I mean, I was saying this to someone yesterday, but I think you said it so perfectly. That's a huge country. There's 70, 80 million people. We're a small country, 10 million people, 2,000 kilometers away. For us to have open skies is truly remarkable in of itself, and also what we've done with the ballistic missiles. But the mission here, the stated and
Yeah.
declared mission, is destroy Iran's nuclear program. Where are we on that?
No, there is no mission like that. We never declared that we are going to destroy the nuclear program of Iran. What we are trying to do is to damage it badly or hit it badly and pushing it back as much as possible, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. Actually, the two main missions or the two main goals of this war is one, to hit badly the nuclear program of Iran, and to hit badly the ballistic missile launchers and the centers of production of the ballistic missiles. So what actually we are doing? There are two main centers of enriching uranium in Iran. One is in Natanz, everybody knows it, and the other one is in Fordow. Natanz is a big center, the first center, and part of it is on the surface, but most of it, all the centrifuges, are under the ground. And they're shielded very well, and it's very difficult to hit them. And the first day we hit it badly. Natanz, almost everything in the surface has been destroyed, but I'm not sure that we had the capability to penetrate the bunkers, underground bunkers, where the centrifuges are. But what I'm hearing now from IEAI, and I'm not sure that that's true, I want to be very careful here, is that we hit the power plant that gives the power, the electrical power to Natanz, including the centrifuges. And the centrifuges, the electric power was damaged badly, and therefore centrifuges that are continuing to turn during problems in the current of electricity, they are damaged, all of them. Is this true? I don't know. So here is an example where you don't need to penetrate into the very, very big shield bunkers, underground bunkers, where the centrifuges are hidden in, and actually you hit the power plant, and since they don't have electricity power, they are damaged and you can't bring them back to service at all. Fordow is another place, it's near Qom, and it's digging into the hill, into a hill. And we don't have the weapons that are capable to penetrate those bunkers that are very, very low under the ground. I think the only bomb that could do it, conventional bomb that could do it, is the MOP, the MOP, the massive ordnance penetration bomb, which is about 13 tons. It weighs about 13 tons. And B-2 bomber, American B-2 bomber, could carry 2. And those bombs could penetrate deeply the hill in which Fordow is hidden in. There is no combat aircraft that would carry this bomb. So, of course, we can't do it. And therefore, we need help from some of our allies, like the United States, that could carry this bomb and drop it on top of Fordow. So Fordow is still alive. And there are centrifuges. I don't know if they're turning now or they stop them, but those centrifuges are enriching uranium in Iran, in the program, in the nuclear program. And as you know, and it was published, that Iran is earning today about a little bit more than 400 kilos of enriched uranium, uranium-235, in the level of 60%. And
Right.
this is enough to build about 10 bombs, about 10 nuclear bombs. If we speak about the Fat Man that was dropped in Hiroshima, there we had uranium in the size of, if I remember well, 64 kilograms in the warhead. So those are the two centers. There is another center that is very important, and this is the Transform Center in Isfahan. In Isfahan, you take the minerals that in them you have the uranium-235, and you have to clean them and then to transform them from minerals to gas. This gas is sent to, as I told you, Natanz and Fordow, and the centrifuges are enriching them so that in those gases you will have uranium-235 in the level of pure 235, the level of 60%, with the right number of elements that need to be in the core of the uranium-235. And then you take this gas and you bring it back to Isfahan, and you change it back from gas into different materials, but the material that we are speaking about is metal, and it becomes metal uranium, or iron uranium, as you call it. And this is the proper uranium that you can install in a ballistic missile that becomes a nuclear ballistic missile. You need to do still some more things, but this part of production is done by what we call the weaponry group of the whole program. So we have the regular uranium, we transfer it into gas, the gas is being enriched, and then it goes back to Isfahan. You get iron or metal uranium, and then it gets a form of a ball that you can install it in the warhead of a ballistic missile.
Now, Isfahan has also not really been hit.
So now Isfahan is also badly hit. And we decapitalized as well most of the senior scientists of the program. And this is another damage. And of course, all kinds of laboratories and places where they hide the information and so on. But still, we need to understand. We did not find the enriched uranium. I don't know where it is. Maybe the Israeli intelligence know, but we did not put our hand on that. We did not damage Fordow, and the Iranians still have the knowledge. They have enough knowledge how to build a nuclear bomb. And of course, the second part of this operation will go to the diplomatic part, in which there will be meetings between us, or between the United States and Iran, and maybe we will find a way to end this war somehow.
So just two questions. Before, I want to ask you about the Fordow, and do you think, I don't expect you to know the answer, but if you have to estimate, what are the chances that the United States sends a B-2 with the MOP and takes out Fordow? I mean, I would say that my feeling would be is that if I'm Donald Trump and I know that it's basically one airplane and it's game over and business is finished, why not do that?
Mm-hmm. So there are several means, and I don't know the full answer. The answer is in the hands of two people, by the way. Khamenei and Trump. Because if Khamenei says, okay, I agree now to the request of the United States, that is, of course, very much pushed by Israel, that says you need to destroy all the centrifuges and you must not have the capability to enrich uranium at all. Not in low level and not in high level. I mean, you can't even enrich uranium in the level of 3.67%. That is enough for civilian nuclear power plants and so on. If Khamenei says, yes, I agree, it's simple to do it. It's simple to do it. The United States will lead this mission. And of course, they go and destroy the centrifuges in those places. This is one possibility. The other possibility is the United States says, you know, Iran, and I see that President Trump is approaching them one time after another and telling them, look, I gave you 60 days. You did not believe me that something bad will happen after those 60 days. And you were not very nice in the negotiations. So now I want to tell you, if you are not going to come back to the negotiations and get our conditions, something very bad will happen. And there are all kinds of signs from the United States that the Nimitz is coming back here. By the way, the Nimitz is going to be decommissioned after this mission. I don't know if you know. After this deployment, the Nimitz, after 50 years, will be decommissioned. So he sent the Nimitz here, and there are many aircrafts that are moving here in the region from one place to another. And the refueling tankers, the 14 refueling tankers that left for the KC type that left the United States, and now some in Germany, some in Finland, and some here in the Middle East. It shows that maybe the United States is doing something. I don't know. But I would make a deal with the United States. Mm. I would request, lease me, leasing. One, B2, I'll pay you for it. for one mission, give me 2 MOP bombs, and I'm going to finish Fordow. You don't need to do it. We will learn how to fly this aircraft. It's not very complicated, I believe. And our pilots will carry the bombs and drop them. And then after we finish, we send back the aircraft to Diego Garcia, and it's done. But to be serious, really, I think that it depends in the feeling of the United States if the Iranians are ready to make a deal. And if they are not ready to make a deal, my feeling is that the United States will join Israel and we will destroy Fordow. This is going to shake badly the Ayatollah regime that are today controlling Iran. And there is a good possibility that we will find it's not part of the goals of the war. It's not part of the missions of the war. But if it happens and a new regime is going to lead Iran, it will be much easier. And if you look at what's going on now, really, I've been many years in the military. I had so many things in my life. We are writing here history.
Yeah,
we are writing here history.
But I want to before I let you go, and I totally agree with everything you just said. I love the lease idea. Let's throw that out there and see what they say. But you mentioned the possibility of regime change. Should Israel, in your opinion, be trying to expedite that? And what I mean by expediting that is taking out, and we decapitated military leadership, but should we be going after civilian political leadership?
Absolutely, yes. I think that there is no difference between military, scientific, or civilian high echelon leadership. People must understand. In Iran, the only one who give orders to the military forces and to the nuclear program is Khamenei. He's the only one. And if someone like that gives orders to the military forces or the Revolutionary Guard to fire missiles on Tel Aviv and Haifa and kill civilians here in Israel, some of them even are not the citizens of Israel. 5 Ukrainians died here the other day.
Right.
So you can ask the same question. I'll make an analogy. I don't like it. But did anybody doubt in the Second World War that we have to kill Hitler? Anybody doubted that?
Right.
He's the one who gave all the orders. Who is giving the orders here? Khamenei. I think that even according to the international law, and I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an expert, but I know something about international law, and I think that someone that gives orders to kill innocent civilians in Israel, we have the right to decapitize him, and he is a target for the Israeli military.
Okay, Admiral Eliezer Marom, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Always fascinating to get your insight on all of these different issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Yaakov. Thank you. Bye-bye.